Hello, people. How are you? This is Akshay from NSC IGE Sales, and today I'll be talking about how to make a sale, talk more about a product global entrepreneur, and try to understand startups. Understanding startups is essential since startup is one of the enabler of IGE, and it also makes sure that we are customer centric. It makes a sales process smoother, and it ensures that our product is market fit. The various personas of startups, starting from lifestyle, small business, viable, large companies, and scalable startups. The roadmap of startups usually starts with idea validation, wherein mission, vision, strategies are being discussed. Then these are then a prototype is being built, and then various tests are being done on this particular product. Then finally, it is being launched into the market and is being checked about its revenue ROI, and then when it crosses a benchmark, it is known as scaled up startup. Now this scaled up startup is a gem for IGE since this startup has revenue, this startup has finances, this startup has vacancies for interns, and most importantly, they have a knack to try something new. So if possible, try to focus on scaled up startups. The roadmap for sales usually begins with market research, wherein you list down all your leads, your prospects, and you approach them. You approach them via calls, you approach them via mails. After that, you do a research on them before setting up a meet. Then you pitch your pitch, propose a proposal, and finally sign the deal. Few important topics to note. Have a clear understanding about your market. What kind of subproduct is dominant in your market? Is this an hostile environment for EP to live in, to work in? Are these startups scaled up startup? Are these startups still in idea validation phase? After this, define your market. Your definition of market would also come after you have analyzed all your past exchanges, you have listed down all your pros and cons. After this, you have your bias persona, you have your definition of market, and you have understanding of market. Based on all these three, you package your sales, and then you go for market research. In market research, you make sure that you have competent market research. Don't just list on all the prospect for the sake of it. Your competent market research usually comes from uh, sources such as LinkedIn or job portals. After that, prepare your sales pitch and start training your members. Then you go for approach. Now, approaches usually should be done via LinkedIn or mail, and if you have a contact number of them, then have a call with them. Set up a call with them. Make sure when you're calling, you always call HR, CEO, founder or co-founder of that particular startup, and finally you close the deal and always take follow-up from them. Following Taking follow-ups is very crucial. Before approaching, always have clear clarity about your goals. Break your goals into your daily goals and weekly goals. Have proper tangibles, have proper KPIs. Your goals should be measurable in terms of number of sources you're gonna have, number of calls you're gonna make, number of visits you're gonna have. Based on all of this, after that, check your sources. Build one solid profile on LinkedIn. Have one solid profile on your mail account. Make sure that you're constantly checking all your sources. Be confident about yourself, about your product, and most importantly, about your pitch. Have everything prepared in advance. Make sure that you have proper research about the partner that you're about to pitch. This basically includes their vision, their mission, their strategies, their current clients, their ex clients, what is the status of that particular product in the market. Be an active listener. Listen to your partner. Ask them for their stories. Once you get to know the stories, try to pick some keywords from all the stories, and then note down your touch points, enclose your touch points, and then use a product as a solution, as a booster for them to reach these touch points. You can There are various selling techniques you can use. Spin selling technique, as well as there are many pitches available. One of the pitches known as elevator pitch, you can also use that pitch. Few do's and don'ts. Never ever sell your product on call. Call's main goal of your call is to set up a meet. Sell idea on call. Sell product in meeting. Don't randomly list on your prospects. Have one competent market research. Nurture those leads. Always have follow-ups. Always take follow-ups. Take weekly follow-ups. Drop them mails after 3 days. Drop them mails after a week. Forward them newsletters. Be customer centric and make sure that you are updated about all the current knowledges. You are updated about current SOPs. You are updated about your KPIs and track them. Few key things to note down about sales: create and stick to the buyer's persona. Don't go havoc while pitching. Always stick to the buyer's persona. The sales process needs to be measurable. For every stage, there has to be some measurable. For example, number of leads that you'll have to generate, number of calls that you're gonna make out of the leads that you have generated, number of visits that you're gonna do based on the calls you have generated. So make sure that your sales process is measurable. You might face rejection sometimes, so try to stay balanced. Constantly take follow up from your clients, and important thing, have a fact based pipeline management. Few important another points to note down: for a realistic action plan, make an analysis of contracts that you have signed previously and how many opens are being generated after signing one contract. Take out an average number, and based on that number, set up your goals in terms of leads that you have to generate, number of calls that you have to make, and number of visits that you have to do in order to fulfill the goal that you have. Always try to push for 6 to 8 weeks of projects rather than 12 weeks of projects. If a client insists on having 12 weeks of project, go for 6 plus 6 weeks of projects. Tell them an intern will come for 6 weeks and then another intern will come for another 6 weeks. So with this, we have two approvals on the system. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope you got most out of it. If you have any queries or questions, feel free to contact me anytime. Have a nice day.